lying to you. They are lying to you. They are lying to you, okay? There is not a viable science on paper. No, but you tell me the name. Who? Einstein, Newton. Who demonstrated from hydrogen, iron, other way, just between through these words, from fusion from hydrogen? What is this? This is not science. This is a story, a more Cretan story that Plato said. Okay, so this is what I want to teach you. You obtain before creation, and you understand through creation a rationality everywhere. In atoms, the atoms are like Legos. They presuppose a time or of functioning. Every atom has a time like a clock. This is, by the way, the original meaning of relativity. Each inertial system has its own clock. The laws are, in a way, atemporal. They are good in every system, in universe. Everywhere you go, the hydrogen combining with carbon, 4 hydrogen will make methane gas. This is not a temporal function. This is what Einstein says. Okay, in physics, F equals m or a. You have time because you have time in movement, in parameters. But you understand more quickly in this way. Hydrogen combines with oxygen, 2 hydrogen, oxygen, and makes the molecules of water. This is the formula. The formula is atemporal. Anywhere you will go and in any time, tomorrow, yesterday, when you combine hydrogen, it will make the oxygen molecule. This is a rationality. Hydrogen is made rational to interact with oxygen. He could not be the first element because it is smaller. Why? In your head is smaller. Why is smaller? Maybe other elements that do not have the energy, the potential energetic of this an element, okay? Even though it is smaller in what way? Like mass. What means smaller if you have some properties to make something, because it is not smaller he will make with oxygen, you understand, not the helium will make with oxygen water, okay? So it is rational or it is not. You cannot give the hydrogen from something. You cannot obtain hydrogen. They were lying to you this, okay, on entire earth. I want to tell to the entire earth, okay, because I started this channel especially, that to clear your minds, what will be the interest. I will tell you the story also. They were fighting with God and with the Bible. The Bible said that the sun was made before the earth. They said the sun is the first. The earth was made before the sun, the Bible says. They were saying backwards that the sun was the first and the earth. And you could not give, if you have atoms, you have a cumulus of molecules that do not produce light before any object that produce light, because it is more immediately, consequently, to have molecules with any given atoms like this. This is not a planet, but this is this is matter, okay? This is made from concrete. This is made from concrete. It is not producing light. So if you have atoms, because when you produce light, you may have a second reasoning, a sustained, rational, always the same motor or movements, electrical movements. But in this matter that do not produce light, you do not have to have a second reasoning, a sustained thing to produce. So logical. If you have atoms, you have iron, you have a piece of iron that does do not emit light. Okay, if you have, so the atoms are prior. Okay, so even like this, the Bible is right, and the planets are first, and an object that produces light is ulterior. You can give them simultaneously to say that once the matter like that does not produce light, it is obtained, it is obtained the matter that produces light. You see, this is tungsten with copper iron, copper with differential of potential producing light, but you have copper and tungsten before you have light. Okay, you have atoms before. So you must understand what I'm telling you. I'm teaching you to think. Okay, I'm teaching you to think. They could not give to you the atoms before they could not give to you by any means stars before atoms. Okay, and they could not make atoms from nothing. Okay, I'm teaching you how to think. Okay, this is some lines of reasoning. So what I'm telling you, if you excuse my gap mental gap, okay, I make a nod in this train of thoughts, or this, and okay, I am telling you that. So the time, this is where I started. Okay, the time is like a Lego piece. For each atom there's a clock inside. Inside the hydrogen there's a clock, identical clock, the hydrogen clock. In the helium clock there's a hydrogen clock. You cannot evolve the clocks. Okay, you cannot evolve the clocks. You cannot give the hydrogen from the hydrogen clock the helium clock. You cannot give the iron has its own clock. Okay, iron has its own clock. You cannot evolve the clock from hydrogen. This is a mistake. Okay, you have the clock of hydrogen in an instant, because otherwise you will not have it. You cannot, you think a human clock, and that you will make it with some pieces that you combine them. Okay, this is how they trick you. The hydrogen clock, from what pieces that would be made, and that pieces would be not rational. By the way, the antimatter does not exist, and dark energy and things like this. These were invented to trick you any further. I'll tell you about radiation also. Radiation means 90% the electron, the cathode radiation, or the electron means all the radiation, 90%. Microwave means emission of the electron from, or the that alpha that the bones shows are produced from the cathode, from their electrical radiations, all of this. Okay, the electromagnetic radiations, it means to radiate, not something bad, only they did this. I'm teaching you, okay, how to reason, to understand, to put order in all these things. So if you want to obtain a point of origin of materials, you cannot give fire and thermic and house. This is stupid, this is childlike, because you cannot evolve the clock of light, the clock of hydrogen, the clock of iron, and when you will have it, you will have it at an instant. Okay, it is not any, there is not a necessity that like when you produce iron to pass 1 billion years, 100 years, or 1 million years. Why? Because the iron is an instant element. When you have iron, now you have it. The electrons will be on that shells, and this is an instant iron, copper, and all the elements. Okay, you cannot give age between hydrogen and iron. They were tricking you, okay, to fuse hydrogen in stars by the Laplace that it was made from gases. The stars are made from mainly from metals, okay. So they tricked you to do not understand a star make light. You cannot fuse hydrogen in iron, but if you could, you will do it instantly, because you cannot give a process, because the temporal clock of any element is an instant clock. In this way, you cannot evolve from 0 to that temporal clock. If you understand the clock, our clock with that, it will move, okay, from 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, okay. And you can think that it will start from this to this, but the temporal clock of atoms, it is a permanent equation that you know always that the in 2 grams of water, these grams of sugar will dissolve in this parameter of time. Why? Because the hydrogen has an exact clock that has inherent and inside it. This is the one meaning of relativity that Einstein intended, not bending space-time, okay? Each inertial system has its own clock, and the laws function. This is what Einstein said, okay? And it is not an exterior, like a chamber, it is an object, like the Leibniz philosopher said, okay? So, now, if you want to give the matter, you see, I have a train of thoughts about nothing, about to teach you how to have a shield against these lies, mental destruction that this current scientific view are lying, okay? So if you want to obtain now the hydrogen, iron from nothing or from something, no matter what is that matter prior these atoms, the atoms will be instantaneously, because you cannot have a half iron only just in proportion, in grams, 2 grams, 4 grams, 9, 10, 12 in, okay? But you cannot have half an iron like a philosophical concept. Half an iron, what is half an iron? It is another element from Mendeleev, half an iron, okay? It is not, okay? So when you have all the elements from atom are instantaneous, and in this way, by denying that they have a coherent way to obtain from some chaotic energy that do not exist, an antimatter, an anti-energy, that they invented it, all of this, like crazy, stupid people, you must understand. So now you have to explain how the clock appears from an instant, because you understand, if you understand, so, and now you make the sum, because you have a clock of hydrogen. If you know the entire hydrogen that exists, the entire iron that exists, and I'm telling you that it is not known, and do not be tricked that somebody calculated all the iron in the universe. They are stupid, okay? They are stupid. You cannot calculate, because we only see this galaxy that has 26 billion kilometers. You cannot calculate how much iron is. But even though it will be that it exists such a thing like 4 prior forces that combined will give iron on silver or all other atoms, you cannot combine them only in an instant. You cannot pull this magical trick to have 1 billion years, 100,000 years, or 2000 or a million years to obtain iron. You cannot pull this trick only by lying, okay? You have these four energies, primordial, imagine energy, you combine and you have iron in an instant. And the same copper, the same silver, and the same, okay? So now you must understand the origin of time. The time is like a Lego piece. Is quantum, like you have a minimal piece and you can now have a double time or a time and a half and things like this. You must understand. This is what they have tricked you with the subatomic particles, because it is easy on paper to write 2 plus 3 equals 5, but you do not have 2 and 3, not even 5, okay? It is easy to say that the hydrogen has this energy or this mass or this, and to cut it in two than to pretend that there exists two particles or two entities that combining. But they did not discover this. They did not discover any of this, okay? So I've told you through philosophy, through some historical reasoning, to put some order in your mind, okay? To understand the Mendeleev, the time on short, and things like this. I will speak about this in my channel, because if you do not have patience and logic to understand them, maybe you understand some videos that on short and 10 minutes, or I have other kinds of videos. These are more longer videos, okay? But now I'm telling you this. They will fighting with the Christian Bible, Judeo-Christian, because Judeo-Christian Bible say the same thing. They have the rakia. The God made the rakia the firmament, or the firmament. In Romanian we say tărie. In the middle of the waters, by separating the waters above the heavens, under the heavens. And I've told in my videos that this water exists. The stars are put in clouds of water. And there is water beyond our galaxy. We do not see only our galaxy. And that galaxy are stars on water. Okay, small stars. The galaxies. There are other galaxies, but we do not see them. But now I'm telling you, I'm speaking on the entire Earth. Why the Chinese should accept this? Why? They were fighting the Christian Bible. Why? Because you are tricked. You will not learn real science at the schools. And you believe that the American guys are more smarter. They know something that you do not know. I'm telling you, they invented this like children's stories. The Arabs, the Turks, the Turkish, okay? We say Turcia in Romania. They change from, we said already correct, like in Romanian, Turcia, okay? If you know, like historical actual fact. Okay, so why should they learn this? The North Koreans, why? Why? Indians, they are 1.5 billion Chinese and 1.5 billion almost of Indians, 3 billion people. Why should they learn something that does not exist? Some Indians are at school. I'm asking you. There are millions of Indian professors. Did you learn at school how to produce iron? Why do you want to be tricked about this? That you believe that you are stupid in your head and you do not study this? Some English and American guys invented this by saying this like a poem, like a bad poem. They're making shame the poetry even. This is not something you must understand. The hydrogen do not fuse to become iron. Did you study this at school? I'm asking you, the Indians guys. I'm asking you, did you study this at school? Where? There is a 1.5 billion Chinese. They study this at school. You are believing in your head that you are stupid. The Arabs guy, the Arab world. There's 1 billion guys of that. Do you study this at school? Why do you accept this? Do you know how the stars fuse hydrogen in iron? Why do you accept this? This is not science. Why? Some old Africa, you must understand, they fought with the Bible and they said these wrong things against the Bible. They invented that the sun it is prior the earth just to falsify that, as the Bible said, that the earth is before the sun. And then they superimpose the sun with the stars. Stars are sun is the stars, stars is sun. There is not. And from sci-fi movies from 1930s, they were going to the Venus and Mars. There are movies from 1930s. From this is where the science came. From sci-fi movies. By the time I was young, I have 32 years old. They did not knew any planet. They did not other than a solar system and Kuiper belt, okay? So from where the science came? From sci-fi movies. They will go with its ships in Star Trek and they will reach to a star. There is a sun is a star is a sun is a star. They have planets. Say that, and they say this like 1,000 times. And everybody, they took one another and they say the same thing, but it's false. You must understand, the stars are small. Million, billion, 90% of the stars are smaller than our moon. You must understand, they are made for metals. They are producing only light and they are eliminated. We can go at the border of our galaxy now with a rocket that we can construct like carefully. We can go with an expedition to reach the stars. I'm not joking. Why do you have to admit this? The entire earth, even the Americans and English, because your great ancestors lied to take a job. Why do you must admit this? That you must think that you are stupid. Because I know this in my heart, that I feel that you are stupid. Because there is not a science beyond this. Does not exist something that to give atoms. It is not existing. Only that you are saying like stupid this. And you in your head you are believe that you are stupid. Because you could not motivate yourself with false science. I can tell this. The iron is made in the stars and the gold. The star explode glow. We are sounds cool, okay? Dust, stardust, but we are not, okay? The stars produce only light. They have to have atoms before they exist. Atoms are producing light. We do not know how to produce light just through atoms. And the hydrogen by himself could not produce light. Okay? You have to have only at least two atoms to produce light. As far as we know. All the ways that we are producing light are supposing two atoms. In the neon light, there are gas electric shock, but there is an atom that produces electricity. And at least two atoms are prior light that we know, okay? So we cannot give light before atoms. When they were made together, rational. They appear together with this rationality, with this iron copper light bonding, okay? Somebody thought about to create this at once. That's why you cannot evolve the temporal time of the iron, copper and light from nothing. When they appear like a functioning system. This is a system. And so you cannot have stars prior atoms. You must understand. Look, this monitor, okay? This where I'm filming, producing light. Produces light through atoms. This light bulb that Edison invented, producing light from tungsten and copper, two atoms. Okay, the LEDs that light tiny light bulbs, they are producing from atoms. The atoms are prior to light. Okay, so you cannot give the hydrogen that to justify the something crazy and light. Okay, and you cannot have a primitive star with only hydrogen. You have to have two elements to produce light, you understand? So if you have two, why do you don't have 3 or 4 or 5 elements? Why do you have lithium and you do not have copper? Why? Because all the elements are instantaneous. You are observe my logic if you understand these videos. Okay, this is my videos number 2, and I have one more in this series. And okay, this is all I wanted to tell you. I will make more videos, philosophical and physics. I discovered the Big Bang is false. I asked all the earth, why do you Africans, there are 52 countries, 1 billion people from North America, from America even, why do you admit lies? Why? Light does not change from green to blue. Does not change, okay? You cannot stretch light. In this light there are all the colors, and the white light do not stretch anywhere, okay? Does not stretch. In this light